People of Earth, how are you? We're back. My name is Al. Across the table from me is my friend Joe.
Fucking Microsoft.
Together, we got a little something called Kinda Right, and Joe's fucking jumping right in with Microsoft. His whole, if you listen, you know exactly where this is gonna go.
Bill Gates should be killed. His family should be killed. His company should be split up. Microsoft should be erased
charity
from
should
all
be split up.
dictionaries. I'm sitting here waiting. I have to hard boot this computer that has Microsoft Windows 8.1 on it. It was working perfectly until Microsoft demanded that I do an update. I don't think there's an option.
And they basically said, "You do this fucking update, man."
Well, it would keep popping up saying we're going to update in 15 minutes.
Right.
And then you could say no. I want to say it was 4 hours away. But maybe you could postpone it a day. You could postpone it. But you couldn't say no thank you.
Right.
And it would keep popping up. So I finally let it do it. And now I've hard booted this thing, meaning turned it off, turned it back on. I'm going to say a dozen times so far.
That sucks, man. I'm sorry.
Well, you don't have to be sorry. You didn't do it.
I feel bad. It's causing you
If you
fucking...
were one of Bill Gates' kids and you were driving a really fancy
Then I'd
car,
really
you
feel
should-
bad.
You should be fucking sorry. Your wealth was ill-gotten.
So some things went on. By the way, we started this fucking thing because we like talking politics, and sometimes we get away from it, but I'm going to jump right in with a little bit. As you know me, I'm a fucking rump swab for one Donald J. Trump. I love the guy. I'm a huge fan, and I think he's doing a great job.
I believe you want to have sex with the Donald.
I don't. Nope. If I was going to have sex with someone...
see him naked?
Nah.
Would you like to just watch him in the shower?
Nah, I like young, muscular men. You know what I'm saying? He's neither of
How
those.
about-
Young,
How
muscular...
about watching him doing his hair?
Young, muscular,
I wouldn't mind
bearded,
watching him do his hair.
well-hung men. That's what I'm looking for. He's none of those. He doesn't even have a beard. That's the easiest
You like the
thing out of
Marlboro
them.
Man? Is that it?
No, he's got to be younger than him, man. Anyway,
I have no idea
has
what's
anyone
going
called
on.
this guy Teflon Don yet? That's what I'm going to call him. Never mind John Gotti. That is Teflon Don Trump right over there.
Well,
nothing sticks to this motherfucker. The whole Jordy Daniels thing, you know how it shook out? It's over, by the way. It's just over. For him. Stormy Daniels, the porn star bullshit. His lawyer's in trouble, but that's because he's Teflon Don. Someone said, there's no doubt your lawyer paid him. And Teflon Don went, yeah, well, I didn't know about it. And that's it. It's over. That's all he had to say. And
you think he's lying?
I haven't even put any effort into that because it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
If this guy did it for Trump and didn't tell him, I got to think about this for a second. Let's have a have a morality thought.
The main thing is the president is Teflon. You know,
if Trump knew that this guy was going to pay this girl off, wanted it done, and then is throwing this guy under the bus, that's a real scummy thing to do. That's Clinton-esque.
Yeah.
Now, if he didn't know about it, and the guy said, yeah, I did do it, and says he doesn't know about it, I have to think about that for a while. You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
And then if Trump really had no idea that he paid him,
yeah,
this guy could have just honest to God, paid the girl and said, I don't want Donald to know about it.
Yeah.
Because then he won't have plausible deniability.
Right.
And this is what he did. Then that may be the truth.
At least.
But is it illegal to pay the girl?
I don't know. I don't think so.
You know what they're trying to say? They're trying to say that this was campaign
related, fund
related.
related.
Like it was campaign funding.
Yeah, no.
Even though the guy I guess he took a home equity loan or something.
That's what lawyer?
I heard. Yeah.
Jesus, it was only $130,000.
some people don't have 130 grand.
You figure a guy like that wouldn't need to take 130 grand fucking home equity loan is all I'm
You
saying.
would think, but at the same time,
That sounds a little... How about he probably took a home equity loan, but it wasn't because of the loan. You know what I mean? At some point. Maybe he just like...
I know what you mean.
Maybe he was just borrowing money from the bank to do a little fucking... couple things around the house. I mean...
Hey, maybe he was, he was 15 days out on billing or something, and,
Yep, that happens too, man.
he had $18 million coming in. Who knows?
Hey, I sit
I'm
right
just
next...
saying that if Trump says, I had no idea he paid her. Is that what he's saying?
That's what Teflon Don says. And there was that whole thing in Syria. Did you pay any attention to that? We had a bomb. We got to lay some bombs
hang
at
on
them.
a second. Unless his lawyer said at some point, you can't tell anybody that you know that I paid her.
Yeah, or either that
That could be.
Yeah, they got together after the fact, and even if they did, that's fine. The guy's a good lawyer. I don't.
But why does it matter to Trump? Like, what legal jeopardy is it? All right, Trump fucked this whore.
It's not legal. It's just that now people like fucking Comey, by the way, who sucks. He sucks. He's now questioning the moral fiber of the Donald, and just saying he doesn't have the or I don't know if it's ethics or morals to be the
he's
president.
Not questioning. He just straight out said,
yeah, this guy is so partisan.
He doesn't have the morals fiber to be president.
So,
and he's entitled to his opinion.
I think that's what this is all about. Whether this just shows that he doesn't have the moral fiber, but he's the president. I'll tell you what, if you don't think Donald Trump, the greatest president in the history of modern America, if you don't think he's morally capable of being president, you are hereby invited November 3rd, 2020 to make sure he's not president anymore.
Oh, yeah, you can go vote.
Go vote.
You can.
That's it.
You can.
Vote. And
you can even write in Hillary if you still miss her.
And vote against him. And if you live in Massachusetts, when they'll run a can of fucking chicken noodle soup against him, and Massachusetts will vote for the chicken noodle soup. And you know what? He'll still win.
I have a very bad memory. And for the things, like, I could contradict myself 17 times on this show.
You often do, but that's fine.
Although I can't believe that I contradict anything that I actually believe.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That just means you don't believe much.
No, I mean, you'd have to give me an example of what I contradict. But I mean, I could, but I can't remember. If you go back and look at Comey's testimony, and you look at when the whole Clinton email thing was going on, okay? And you look at the way he testified in front of the House, because he was before the House a couple of times, and then he did the strangest thing in the world, which was the very thoughtful, well laid out narrative as to why Hillary Clinton should be in jail but shouldn't.
Right.
But couldn't be prosecuted.
Yeah.
That thing. This guy contradicts himself like crazy, meaning he'll say in the testimony, he'll be asked something to the effect of, what can you tell us about this, Mr. Comey, or Director Comey? I can't speak about an ongoing investigation. And then in the next hearing, well, what's going on with this investigation regarding this? Well, this is happening, and this is happening, and this is happening.
Yeah.
Do you follow it up? So
yeah, he's pretty sharp.
In a sense, if I caught that, then there are people that are much brighter than me, that have much better memories, that can probably cite through memory each time he's done something like that.
Yeah.
Or at least have it written down.
They say
if I cared enough, I could go and research. But he's done that a number of times. I don't know whether it's twice in his life or that's just the way he is.
They say he's a copious note taker. There's no way he forgets anything. He forgets nothing.
So then he's
A
then
liar.
that makes it malevolent.
He's a lying, partisan, malevolent sucker of cock who I looked him up today at lunch.
His wife
I don't
was a
know-
huge Hillary fan,
Yeah, I don't.
by the way.
Oh yeah, so's he, by the way. Listen, he's got a 14-year-old daughter, Emily,
No, I don't want any of it.
and a
I don't-
12-year-old son, Chad.
That guy was put in an
An
impossible...
8-year-old.
No, we're not doing that.
Why?
Because it's just
I'm
wrong.
allowed to sentence his
no,
kids.
No. You know why? Here's the
To
thing with
awful
Comey.
leukemia.
Comey was put into it's a horrible place to be.
8-year-old Jimmy Jr., by the way.
Horrible. I mean, that's an awful place to be.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's been, he's been fired by Trump.
Can his wife die of AIDS
Sure.
after she gave it to him?
Yeah.
And she dies first? We'll
Yeah,
let the
leave the
kids
kids
off the
out.
hook. But his wife,
Yeah.
she can perish.
Because, what's
her-
Comey? A
her
little
age-
older than me? Comey's probably my age,
He's-
for Christ's sakes.
He's like 51.
Is he younger than me?
Yeah.
Shows you how little I've done with my life.
No, I don't know, Joe. I'll look it up right now. I don't know how old he is, actually.
I mean,
He's probably 60.
believe me, that's a job I would not want.
Yeah, no, he's probably 60.
And
He's-
this guy
you
that
know,
they fired,
that's
this-
a hard job to get,
apparently this McCabe guy was a scumbag too.
Oh, yeah.
Like you know what it all comes down
Jesus
to?
Christ. He was born in 1960.
1960?
That's the same year as
So
Obama,
he's
right?
3 years older than me.
Yeah.
No, I think Obama's
6'8".
like my age.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
They're young, man. The people our age around the world, except
Yeah.
we have the oldest president in the history of the United States. People forget that, too, about the Donald.
is.
He's probably the most wealthy. I don't know. He might not have been. Maybe someone back then was,
Owned half of fucking South Carolina.
yeah,
All of Florida.
made a lot of good deals with, like, Indians and shit. No, I believe he's the richest guy to ever be president of the United States. It's following in the fucking shoes of Silvio Berlusconi or whatever the fuck his name was over there, that crook over in Italy.
Yeah, but he was a downright crook.
Yeah, well, he was pretty fucking bold about it, but
Here's the thing about Trump. I don't think anyone is ever going to be able to prove that Trump is somehow hooking his name so that he can make more money by being president.
yeah.
I don't think you're ever going to be able to prove
He's
that.
also smart enough to know that it's a coin flip whether if he gets elected for a sec that he'll live through it just because he'll be old and fat.
Oh no, he doesn't. There's no question in his mind that he's going to be reelected and he'll live through it.
I know, but
There's no question in his mind.
yeah, right. I guess what I'm
There can be a
saying is,
question
just
in your mind.
how much do you need your brand to be fucking puffed up when you get out when you're 70?
When he gets out,
that
when he's
motherfucker,
80,
he's just
he'll be
playing
like
golf.
almost
he'll be 78. He'll be
you're
78.
close to fucking dying.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
At 80.
He'll
I mean-
literally be 78 because he just turned 70 when he got sworn in. You
So-
know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, how much you got to think about? Although there are these guys that are running around like lunatics at 80 years. Look at Murdoch, Rupert Murdoch,
Right.
running around like a fucking lunatic.
Again, great doctors, man. With huge wealth comes the best
Yeah, they're
doctors.
trying to find ways to make more money, make more
well,
deals.
that's the other thing.
They just love it.
Maybe it keeps you alive making deals.
It must.
You know what I
If
mean?
you love it. If you hate it, no.
Here's the deal I want to make. Hey, honey, will you run down to the package store and get me a case of Pacifico and I'll lick your pussy? That's the deal I'm looking to make, not the fucking real estate deal. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that fucking asshole.
Who's this now?
Jerry Brown.
Can I? The guy who is both the oldest and youngest governor of fucking California. When he got elected for his first time, he was the youngest. Now he's the oldest, and he's a moonbat. Isn't that what? Actually,
He's all upset because
that was a Howie Carrism, I think.
I fucking hate California. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm praying my daughter doesn't move to California.
Because then you'll have to go
fucking
visit her.
hate it.
You'll never see her again, by the way, if you don't go visit her. That sucks to think about. You could fly her home for Thanksgiving. She might not come.
Look, here's the deal. When you're working a job and you know this. She has 2 weeks of vacation.
Yeah.
Now, I'm used to having 2-3 months of vacation.
I'm used to having 2-3 months of work.
Oh,
and
yeah.
eight,
That's
9
what I'm
months
saying.
off. Yeah. Work like a motherfucker during them 2-3
But
months.
not to be like the difference between me and you is there's always somebody out there working on my behalf.
Yeah, that's nice.
Always.
Yeah, I had that for a little while. Certainly not
if
my
there's
whole
not
life.
one, there's 10.
It's nice.
So I can I can watch TV till 11 on the couch with comfort, knowing that there's a house being framed and there's another house being wired. And there's another house that's
and then the
bills
fucking,
over raking the foundation hole
and
out.
the trade-off is when things are getting a little tight money-wise, you shit blood for a day or two or a week.
Well, you got to go out and work.
Yeah.
I have to go out and actually do some. I got to
Something
go move some
productive.
dirt
Yeah.
tomorrow. I'm gonna work for almost 3 or 4 hours inside a machine tomorrow.
Oh, shit, son.
I mean, it's we're talking. It's getting up there.
Yeah, man.
But I'm
What's
gonna
this
lose a
world
little
coming to?
weight because I'm gonna plant my own plants.
Oh, nice.
I'm not gonna do any walkways or anything. I
What, is Chris Butler fired?
no, not at all. He's gonna do them. I'll have nothing to do with that because I'll fuck it up. Plus, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, no. You get the... First of all, you need someone who does it every day, and Chris does it... He doesn't fuck those things up.
No, he does a beautiful job.
He does wonderful work. It's perfect every time. So why would you even... Why would
I
you
had,
even consider it? You had what?
Chris came by this weekend.
Oh, nice.
I saw him Saturday. He's doing wonderful.
Good. He's one of the most genuinely nice people I've ever met in my life.
Great guy.
Yep.
Great guy.
And he's pretty sharp, too. Not just a nice guy. He's pretty sharp.
He is a sharp guy.
Can I just say, I'm going to go a little local. I just want to get it off my chest.
Say anything.
I
You
feel
can say anything you want.
I feel badly that a young cop got killed in Yarmouth, not too far from here, but I don't give a fuck. I see the cops lining up, and they're walking in fucking military fashion, taking like this, and then they take the sharp left like this, and it just angers me.
Well, you give a fuck as much as someone else you don't know in the obituary.
That's what I'm saying.
Which is meaning
It's
you
not-
don't care.
People die every day, and construction workers die more at work than cops, by the way. More construction workers die.
Cops aren't in the top 10.
So that's what I'm saying. I feel badly that a young man died, and it happened at work. It's not fucking special because he's a cop.
I learned about it 20 minutes, half an hour ago.
They're so fucking this fucking sense of self-entitlement. The whole entitlement thing with cops goes all the way to it just being
Like the wife and kids.
It's just being ridiculously overplayed in the media. I don't want to hear about it. You know what I mean? It's everywhere. Everywhere where you
He
look.
didn't even get shot on the job.
I don't even know what the story.
He got
I didn't even
shot.
know that. I thought he got shot at. On
He
the
got
job.
He got shot. I just learned this before you came. He was at a Bertucci's in another town up on 495. For our national listeners, this won't matter, but he was in another town a good 30 miles, 40 miles away from his town.
Okay.
And he was at a Bertucci's, and I guess there was a gunman or something, and this guy, I don't even know how he died. Was he shot?
I don't know. This is what I'm saying. As soon as I hear it's a cop, if I hear he's a young person, I feel badly. Then I hear it's
He's
a
like
cop.
my age.
I hear. We might be talking about two different things. I thought he was a young guy.
Well, if I had a fucking computer that would turn on,
Now I gotta
I'd
look
tell
at
you,
this
but now you gotta
asshole
look it
up. I'm sure he was a nice person too. But as soon as I hear,
I thought he
it's-
was like 50.
can I say, as soon as I hear it's a cop, I care less. I care less when I know it's a cop.
Well, I don't
because
necessarily
everyone
care
else is.
less.
I do.
You don't wanna
Because
see
everyone
anyone
else is
killed.
artificially inflated with their fucking sadness because it's a cop. And I'm not saying I'm happy about it. What I'm saying is I'm fucking less sad because it's a cop.
I'm
How's
with
that, you
'cause I don't
cunts?
ca- if it's a Massachusetts state cop,
Oh boy, here
I'd
we
be
go.
fucking jumping for joy.
I'm not gonna have to delete this, am I?
No. We'd like to see more of them get fucking killed.
Well, I'm not saying that either.
They're horrible.
I'm saying
Awful people should be killed.
Yeah.
And I haven't met one yet that's not an awful person. That's not true. I knew somebody. He's probably retired now.
My next door neighbor in Chiltonville was a state cop, and he was nice to my wife and everything. But he was a douchebag. He was a fucking cunt douchebag. A single fuck. I'm sure he was fucking gay too, but that doesn't mean any. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But 53-year-old fucking bachelor. You know what I mean? Living alone, kinda. I gotta say, much like all those guys, he was never home. He was always working a detail somewhere. You know. Anyway, he was a douche. I don't even know what my point is. Oh, you were saying about the cops. I care less. I care less when it's a fucking cop, because everybody just gets fucking overly fake.
Well, what they do is whenever a cop dies, they have this huge, massive,
which is what's going on right now, or the wake,
where
anyway.
they send cops from all over the country, from various,
Yeah, and they get to cut family members.
And
it's community people.
By the way, it's all on our dime, too. Like when the
32-year-old, by the way.
Oh, then this is a different guy than I saw.
Oh. This is the 32-year-old guy in Yarmouth. Did another Yarmouth cop die?
I don't know.
All right, we're definitely talking about two different things.
We're talking about two different things. Hey, while you're over there.
Sorry, I shouldn't even brought it up.
While you're over there. Hey, my computer finally came on. Look at that. Thanks, Bill Gates. That was 45 minutes. Waiting for your fucking piece of shit office. Still not done.
Bill Gates needs to die.
Oh, I hate Bill Gates. I drink because of Bill Gates.
Hey, I couldn't help but notice that. How does that guy do it, John Roberts, the fucking Supreme Court judge?
What do you mean? How does he do it?
He fucking does that all day, and then at night he's on the fucking news doing news reports for fucking CNN or whatever.
Two entirely different people.
I know, I'm just fucking around. I think that every time I see the news guy, I'm like, wow, man, he's doing double time. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think if there's a couple other people like that. They got the same name, but whatever.
Yeah, John Roberts. So you were doing a little
I was doing a little shtick, Joe. I'm sorry. Shtick, man. Yeah, so I guess somebody died on a plane. That sucks. I told my son's daughter that...
Your son's daughter?
My son's girlfriend that don't worry about this fucking plane trip. She doesn't like flying over the water. I'm like, planes very seldom crash right into the Atlantic. You know what I mean? It almost never happens, which on one hand is good because you probably aren't going to crash. But on the other hand, it's bad because it's fucking due, man. There is due to be a fucking crash right into the ocean. But whatever. I'll probably never fly over the ocean again myself.
Sean Gannon is the dead cop.
Yeah, 32.
Oh, that sucks.
It's awful.
It's just as bad as any other 32-year-old.
That's what I'm saying. It's no worse than any other 32-year-old dying, getting crushed at work by a fucking
it's the same.
crane.
I call it the same.
Huh?
I call it the same.
Debatable. It's the same at best. How's that? At best, it's the same.
Well, you can't go just hate all of these guys.
No.
Like, I have a legitimate reason to hate the Massachusetts State Police.
Right.
And they are, by definition, they are a corrupt organization.
Right.
And it's not even...
Categorically.
Let me explain this to all the people out there who don't give a shit and who live in other parts of the country. The Massachusetts State Police were just caught. This is after I've talked about the Massachusetts State Police, by the way. Were just caught. There were 20 to 30 to 40, because I don't know the exact number, of state cops that were fictitiously putting in overtime slips that they never worked. You follow what I'm saying, folks? Imagine if you were at your job. First of all, you probably don't have overtime. Second of all, if you were faking the slips, you would be fired fucking immediately. Guess what? They weren't fired. And they still haven't been fired. Some of them retired with a full pension.
And by full pension, we mean full fucking pension.
So, as far as I'm concerned, the Massachusetts State Police, every one of them can fucking die. They can eat cock and die. Because they're crooks. They are the first of all,
do you think they prick
exactly,
their finger at their fucking swearing ceremony?
Oh, they're just scum. They're the fucking scum of the earth. The entitled scum of the earth.
Yeah, that's the thing with the police is the whole.
But it's not with
I'm
the
entitled
police.
to this. I'm entitled to that.
There are some good outfits out there.
It's anyone who belongs to a public employee union. How's that? Anyone? If you belong
my
to,
wife belongs to one.
Yeah, well, she's pretty. That's fine.
There's a lot of people that work for the government that aren't terrible
great,
people.
You know, that's fine.
You have to be able to. And there's some good police forces out there. I've been into parts of the country where the police actually, you can stop and say, "Hey, officer, how do you get to?" And they'll actually look at you and come over and help you.
Mayberry RFD. That's
they don't have a Massachusetts asshole attitude.
Oh, right.
You know, there is a Massachusetts attitude that goes along with this.
Yeah, I think you're right. I always said that I had not been many places in this world, but I've been to enough other places, and I will tell you right now, the biggest dickhead asshole motherfuckers on earth live right here in Massachusetts, New England, Northeast,
Yeah,
United
and I don't know
States,
why
whatever.
that is, but
People are just
there are
rude.
a lot of unfriendly. People from New York
obnoxious.
City talk about how unfriendly people are in the Boston area.
Well, I think people who live in New York City are fucking well, if you live and work in Manhattan, you are most probably a maniac. You know what I mean? If you live in Staten Island, you know, that's kind of like living in Weymouth or some shit, you know?
Yeah, but they probably still work in Manhattan.
Yeah, or on Staten Island. I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
You know, Long Island or whatever. But I know what you're saying.
Well, they probably do. They take the Staten Island.
A lot of
ferry.
people work in, that's just exactly what it is.
People think, a lot of people, and it's very easy for this to happen. People think that Manhattan is New York City. It's all
part of New York City.
New York City there's 8 million people that live in New York.
It's actually technically the smallest of the boroughs as well.
8.6 million, but there are a total of 5 boroughs.
Yeah, right. Brooklyn, Staten Island, Manhattan, the Bronx,
Queens.
and Queens, right?
So you've got 5 boroughs. Like there's 1.5 million people that probably live in Manhattan. You know, I'm talking out my ass. I have no idea.
I don't know. I think that 7 or 8 million people live in New York City, live there. So if you spread that evenly out amongst the 5 boroughs, yeah, it's 1 million, 1.5 million, something like that.
I'll tell you something though. Here's something interesting about New York City. I went and stayed. This is better part of probably 15 years ago, and I bet it's worse now because the value of the real estate is so crazy.
Yeah.
We went, meeting my wife, my daughter, and I went and stayed in a hotel. We were on like 57th and 2nd Avenue. Where this hotel was.
Say where that is again. I'm sorry.
57th and probably 57th and 3rd.
On the east side. Okay, not the west.
Right. We weren't on Park Avenue, so we were like on 3rd Avenue.
North Central Park.
So one of the things we did, and my kid was I don't think she was living here yet, so she was 14 or something. We went to Dangerfields. And I was able to get her in.
Okay.
And I don't even know if Dangerfields is still open,
I don't know, man.
Rodney Dangerfield's
comedy
club, and we saw an act, and it was hilarious. But the thing is if you go out to get a fucking bite to eat, There's no place to go because every piece of real estate has been bought up, and it's all these condominium towers. Or you can go someplace and have a $450 steak. You know what I mean?
By the way, I was
There's
right.
no convenience
More
stores.
people do live in Brooklyn than Manhattan.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
2.5 million people live in Brooklyn. Almost 2.5 million live in Queens. Manhattan, you were right on the nose, Joe. Congratulations. 1.5 million. I mean, like you fucking read it before like you knew what you were talking about.
Well,
and it's 8.5. I was close. I said between 7 and 8. I'll take 8.5. So we know that's how many people live there. At any given time, there are 15 million people there. You know what I mean? That's what's crazy. You know what I mean? I can't see how many live in the Bronx. It's less than 500,000 in Staten Island. How come the Bronx isn't here? Oh, here we go. It's almost 1.5. So, it is, it's a fantastic place. It's wacky. It's not anywhere near the biggest city in the world. There are fucking... Probably
there's a city in Japan.
There's
in China.
There's 15 cities in China with 7 million people.
Right.
You know what I mean? That you've never heard of, ever.
Right.
It's like, what? They don't even have a fucking pro baseball team.
Hey, there was some sort of a
It's
Supreme
the biggest
Court
city
decision.
in the United States, though. It's also, by the way, the greatest city in the world. Thank you. Although I disagree. I think Louisville's better. It's just different. It's so huge. I know. I already know the answer to this, but you haven't been to like Asia or anything, right? You've been to
No, I have not been anywhere other than Mexico, the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, and Canada.
They say
I think that's about it.
They say if you like New York, you'll probably like Tokyo. You'll probably like Hong Kong. There's not a lot of places like that, like just with the crazy metropolis where you stand in the middle of an avenue and you look to your left and look to your right, and all you see to the fucking horizon is skyscrapers. You know what I mean? That's what's crazy to me about New York City, about Manhattan. You know what I mean?
Let me give you an example of why I don't travel. So
good. I'm gonna pee.
My lovely wife and I,
and she is lovely.
And it was my idea even. We went out and met up with this couple to have dinner. And we went to this little place. It's a burger bar right downtown. So I'm not big on waiting in line for anything.
Yeah. Not looking to queue up, Joe.
So we took an Uber down from where we live, which is
Uber rules.
a $9 or $8 Uber ride downtown.
No tips accepted.
Yeah. Oh, no, they will accept tips.
Oh, you can? Good. That's good.
Yeah. So we went to this K. Katie's Burger Bar, and they do have it's a specialty hamburger place, which it's nothing's great, but they are good if you like hamburgers. If you want to. So
it's a good burger, man.
We walked in. They were there before us, and it's a small place, and it was a pretty big crowd.
Yeah, remember when it was TK's fucking
Right.
dive bar? It looks the same.
Looks pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah.
So I'm standing there, and Bob and Suzanne, is the couple, they were there, and Bob said, "We got a table for 4. We're next up." So the cab ride down, the guy was from
Cameroon.
No, he was from
Montana.
Rio de Janeiro.
Oh, so close.
Because I asked him, I said, "Why is it 90 degrees in this car?" And he said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I've only been here a year from Rio. It's freezing out to me." So then I would get into K. Katie's, and I sat there for a half an hour. It was kind of hot. And I'm starting to get this little irritable, right? So I said to Pat, "I'm going outside. Knock on the window because there's a window right there. I'll be out on the sidewalk, knock on the window when it's time to come in." So I was out there for about 10 minutes.
Oh, boy.
And I was starting to get cold. And I looked in.
And you don't smoke cigarettes.
No, I don't smoke.
Yeah.
Didn't have any
At
drugs
least
or
if you
anything.
smoke,
I didn't have any booze.
Do
nothing.
something with your hands, you know?
Didn't have a computer that I could yell at.
Right.
I didn't even have a phone.
Oh, well, you're not supposed
Which
to
comes
bring a
into
phone.
play a little later.
Oh, all right, good. I never bring my phone when I go out to eat, by the way. Go ahead.
So I looked at my lovely wife through the window and I mouthed, "I'm going home." And I proceeded to walk home.
Excellent.
So it's probably not good that I go and I have to apologize tonight because she told Bill this morning because I tried talking to her this weekend and she wouldn't talk to me. And I knew she was pissed. But, and I'll have to call the other folks too. I think, they know us well enough that, and I didn't tell anybody to go fuck themselves or anything. I just said, I'm going home. And off I went. And I walked home. So.
How recently was this?
Saturday.
That's
Saturday
pretty
night.
funny.
So the deal is, I don't want to fucking go anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to any fucking city.
Yeah.
I hate, the older I get, and now you would think that this would be something you would ease out of as you get older. Follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've become worse.
Yeah, of course.
I don't want to.
Because it's what you
I
truly
go
are.
into the fucking TSA and I fucking hate these people.
Oh, yeah, it's awful.
I don't want to take my fucking shoes off.
Yeah, it's
I don't
not
want to
their
go and
fault,
put my
though.
hands up.
I know.
Yeah, it is. It is their fault. They're idiots. Do you realize this fucking TSA hasn't stopped one act of terrorism? Not one.
Oh, come on.
The
I agree,
Israelis,
yeah.
the Israelis laugh at us
Ugh.
with our TSA.
Can you imagine?
They fucking laugh at us. Because the Israelis do things like, yeah, we just smuggled 9mm guns with one per old lady through the TSA.
Right.
And you didn't catch us. The TSA is a fucking joke. So I can't stand it. I don't want to be on the plane with the crying fucking baby. I don't want to be.
I hear you there.
I can't-
Traveling sucks. It's the worst.
So that leaves like road travel.
Getting to where
And that's, or
debatably
A
not
bus,
that great either.
road
Oh, no.
travel.
Driving, you know what? Driving's not that bad, especially if you got your best girl with you or a buddy. It's not
yeah, but
that
you don't want
bad.
to drive to fucking Florida.
No,
You
I
certainly don't
I
want to drive
agree.
to California.
How can you get on the train to Florida in a day? I have no idea how
Yeah,
that
but
works.
that's just as bad.
The train's not bad. I've taken
got-
the train to New York City.
But you still got to go somewhere.
Providence?
You got to get a ticket. You got to wait.
Yeah,
You got to wait for the train
I know
to
what
show
you're
up.
saying. It's all awful.
So now I can do things like, because I've done it so many times. So when you're talking about new travel,
Oh, you're so tall too. You don't ever travel first class either. You always travel coach, right?
yeah. Well, I never fly any
awful.
more than 3 hours.
It's awful.
I haven't paid for a plane ticket
I know you're good like that. That's smart.
in 15 years.
Because of the Southwest Rewards card or whatever.
I go to Florida and visit my college pals. I know the drill.
Yeah.
I go down. I have a parking lot I can park in.
And you probably know all the flight times
I
by
know
heart.
all the flight times by heart.
Yeah.
I get right in. It's an airport it's got 2 doors. It's a tiny little airport.
We're flying to Southwest. We're flying to Orlando on Southwest nonstop both ways for less than $400 all in.
Right.
Awesome. And good times. You know?
Orlando's a pretty good airport. Southwest, you land in Tampa. You take a little automatic tram to get you to the gate, and then your rental car is right across the street.
In Tampa?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
And
been a
I
while
hop in the rental car, and I got 3 buddies on the West Coast,
Yeah.
and I can go and stay with any one of them. And it's like fly out of here at 8:00. I'm at their house at noon, 1 o'clock.
Right. Yeah. Nice.
That's it. I don't want to do 9 hours
Yeah.
to fucking
It sucks. Even the whole thing going
to
to California
Italy.
sucks, man.
and then have. And you know something? I had an apartment in Montreal,
Yeah.
as you know.
Yep.
I'm all good
Was that like an 8-hour drive?
with foreign language
Yeah.
people. I don't care what language you speak.
Here's the thing,
if I
though.
can't
Yeah.
speak it, and I have to go and fucking talk to
The
you.
thing is right.
I don't want to deal with it. I want to speak English.
Yeah, Montreal, however, is ground zero for the planet, for the place where other than the United States, if you don't speak the native language, no one's talking to you. At least in Europe, they all take it in school, English, and they actually go out of their way to talk to you because they can use it. Montreal is as bad as Boston. Can you imagine a French person coming to Boston and they're trying to get you to speak French? You'd be like, fuck off. That's what they're like in Montreal and Quebec, you know?
Not in the city of Montreal. But
Not too bad.
Outside they are.
Yeah, and they should be.
We've had people. Well, I believe that they didn't speak any English, though. Quite frankly,
They should.
because
I don't speak any French.
We were up there and we were literally trying to order food, and this woman had no idea what we were saying.
Yeah.
And my daughter had to speak up and speak in French so we could order.
Yeah. I've been to Holland.
And if you like gravy on French fries, you'll love the outskirts of Montreal.
I mean, I order gravy on French fries quite a bit. I believe at K. Katie's I did that once. The aforementioned
so
K. Katie's.
my thing is, people like, I have a trip that I'd like to do to go to Europe, and
you've been once. You went to Iceland, right?
yeah, but I don't know if you count that.
That's Europe. It's not the continent, but it's Europe.
So I don't give a fuck if I ever go.
Yeah.
I have a trip that I want to do that is a World War II trip that I probably don't want to do with my wife, probably with a buddy.
It sounds awful. My son is going to Auschwitz not Auschwitz, I'm sorry. Dachau. Auschwitz is
this
Poland,
isn't
right?
all. This is one. I'm going to do one concentration camp, but I'm basically going to follow the Allies.
Can I tell you, I went to the Anne Frank house in Amsterdam.
See, I have no interest in that.
And it was, I had to go because that was the year my sister went with us to Holland. And Leanne and I went for a day on our own to Amsterdam. It was the nicest time ever. We had a ball, but we did the Amsterdam tourist thing. You know what I mean? As you know, when I used to go to Holland, I didn't do the Amsterdam thing. The family was from Rotterdam, which is the biggest port in the world, by the way, which is weird.
Right.
And a shit city, but enough culture that's fine. You're good. You know what I mean?
That's the other thing that people don't know. There's a lot of cities in Europe that are fucking shitholes.
Yeah. How about all of them?
There's a lot of them.
My son is in Rome, and the pictures look beautiful. He texted me that the weather is perfect. The pictures look awesome. They were at the Vatican and, the Colosseum and all that.
But there's a good shithole in Rome, though, somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure that everything outside of the Vatican and the center of town is a shithole,
dump.
And it always has been. It's been a shithole for 2,000 years. You know what I mean?
You want to go on the gondolas and go to fucking
Venice,
and it smells like raw
Something's
sewage.
going on with Venice too.
It's sinking.
Yeah, it's sinking. It's literally sinking.
They're going to change that pretty soon to the ocean's rising.
Yeah, right.
But it has been sinking before global warming or climate change, whichever they're calling it today, came into play. It was sinking because the water was rising. But maybe it's all about climate change now. Depending on what insurance will pay, it's about one or the other.
So I absolutely can't believe that you had a long walk Saturday night because I was going to do my bit.
Well, the thing is,
I did a long walk.
I didn't bring a phone, and I knew when I started walking that I didn't bring a phone, and I said, Jesus Christ, this is really stupid.
I have to tell you a story about Thursday after our podcast.
But that's me.
Yeah. Well,
Now, I didn't scream and yell,
yeah.
and my wife, who is not a screamer and yeller, she just basically came home, went to bed,
Okay.
and she texted me, I can't believe you just pulled this shit. And I'm like, I'm not waiting for a hamburger ever.
Well, as you may or may not know.
And it's wrong. What I did, I know it's wrong. I should have just went in there, grabbed the three of them and said, look I'm either going home or let's go someplace else. And they ended up going to TK's because they didn't wait anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
right.
they got right in and they got served. But I'm not waiting fucking an hour for a hamburger.
Right. So this is what I want to tell you.
Am I a maniac?
Listen, will you listen to my story now?
Go ahead.
So Thursday, after the podcast, I fucking got 45 and 46 up on the internet, checked in with my wife. She's like, oh, I'm at your dad's. Come over for a drink. I think I need a ride home. I said, all right, that's fine. It's usually the other way around, you know?
Right.
So I get over there. They're all shit-faced. I mean, everyone. Ted wasn't there. He was at work.
Was that a surprise, though?
Well, my wife's shit-faced, sitting there holding hands with my father. My mother's got a couple drinks in her. My sister is... She probably wasn't too drunk, but she had a few drinks. You know what I mean? So...
Still not seeing the problem.
No. Let me finish.
All right.
So, of course...
Did your father have his hands down your wife's
I'm just...
pants?
No. That's not the point. What I'm saying is that they're cozy with each other. My father is cozy with all the wives.
Yeah.
He calls them their daughters. So anyway, they're having a hell of a time. So, of course, what do? I take off my jacket, have a couple drinks.
Right.
It gets to be 11:45
You're a little
on a
too
Thursday
drunk to
night.
drive.
Everyone's shit-faced, right?
Yeah.
So what do? We leave the truck, which is what she drives, and we get in the Nissan and drive home.
Dumb.
So we go upstairs. She's shit-faced. Her number one favorite thing to do while it's shit-faced is to fuck. So that's all she wants to do, right? So we get into it, right? I got my face down there.
Uh-oh.
All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, I think she's So I take my finger.
Oh, no.
And I look, and she's bleeding, right?
This is a disgusting story.
So instinctively, I just
you gotta-
wipe it. I go to wipe it.
delete this out. People are going to throw up.
Listen to the story.
All right.
I wipe it on the fucking comforter. But it turns out it wasn't a comforter. It was her white cardigan. She flipping loses her fucking mind. She goes, you just wiped my period blood on my sweater. You're treating me like a whore. I'm like, hold on. I didn't realize you were that drunk. You're losing your mind now. It was a mistake. I didn't know it was your sweater. She goes, you fucking asshole. Get the fuck out. Get out. I go, I'm not going anywhere. I said, I'm going to go take a shower, though. So I go and take a shower. So she comes in. Now, keep in mind, the truck's up at Dad's.
You're right.
She can't fuck. I already hid her keys at this point, right?
So she can't run off.
She goes, give me the keys to the Nissan, motherfucker. I go, I'm not giving you the keys. She ends up finding them. I don't know how she did it, right? So, she leaves, right? I'm in bed. She comes back in a half hour later. You don't care that I was leaving? I'm like, no, I wanted you to leave so I can sleep. She goes, well, I just called the cops, and I told them that you fucking are beating me. And she does this all the time.
Did you really call the cops?
No, she goes, I just called the cops. I go, all right, well, I'll be leaving.
Oh, she called the cops?
Yeah, that's what she said. She said, I just called the cops because she knows anytime I hear cops, I'm gone.
You don't want anything to do with them.
So I start getting dressed. She goes, where the fuck do you think you're going? I said, give me the keys to the Nissan. She goes, no, motherfucker. I said, well, I'm going to go get the truck then. Because her and my sister had set up a fucking pickup. Leanne was going to come get her in the morning before work and go back up. I said, I'm going to get the truck because if you ain't going to give me the keys to the Nissan, I need to get to work in the morning. I got to go to New Bedford. You know what I mean?
Right.
So now we're talking, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I got to get up at I get up at fucking 6. You know what I mean?
You're a working dude.
So I start walking. She fucking calls. She goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm walking to my mother's. So I walked. You know where I live, right? Next to Cartmel's.
Yeah.
I walked, banged a right, went up by the Forefathers Monument, down, walked up Samoset Street.
Isn't that funny? Walked all the way to
When
your
I
mom's
got
house?
to Cumberland Farms, I got a coffee. And then I walked the rest of the way to my mother's. This is Thursday, 2 days before your walk, our last podcast. I get in my truck. It's 2 in the morning or 2:15.
Isn't that funny?
I fucking go to sleep. I set my alarms. I set 5 different alarms. I set them for 6. I was going to go home.
You had yourself a little walk.
No, what I was going to do is I was going to knock on the door because I know people get up that early and go, I need to shower. Then I was going to go to Walmart and buy new clothes and go to work and never go back there. She calls at 4:30. She goes, where are you? I go, I'm fucking sleeping in the truck. She goes, the truck's at your mother's. What are you talking about? I said, I told you I was walking up here. You lost your mind.
Oh, you didn't go into the house?
No, I slept in the truck. I don't have a key to my mother's. I used to. I slept in the truck for 2 hours, sitting up. So
That's a fucking riot.
so she goes, what happened? And I told her, she goes, I don't remember any of that. Will you come home? So I go home. She's totally gentle and meek. She lets me sleep for an hour and a half before work. I went to work and I had a really bad day Friday, like so bad that my boss, the big boss, asked me, why are you so stressed? I'm like, it has nothing to do with work. Work is a fun place compared to the rest of my fucking life, all right?
Right.
So anyway, they had an emergency meeting when I left because yesterday I get in there and the guy who I work with in the office is like, is everything okay? Rick wanted to know, blah, blah, blah. We talked about you. We just want to let you know that we really appreciate what you do. I'm like, Howard, I'm not going anywhere. It has nothing to do with this job. You know I'm moving and I'm stressed.
It was a family.
And I'm moving in the middle of all this. That sucks. You know what I mean? That's about as stressful. I said I never wanted to move again, and somehow she got me to move. You know what I mean? Hey, everybody, I've been yapping for 50 minutes, but that's weird. We both took a long walk this weekend. We've always said when it's time to go, it's time to go.
And it was time to go.
We'll be right back.
Later.
Blue period, black comedy, such a joke I played on me. I let you go, and now I know a world of uncertainty. Now I think about the days when I let you down in so many ways. That's the time I want to cry, and the time I wonder why, and pray. My apathy is tragedy. I'm content to stay inside. This emptiness is killing me. I can run, but I can't hide. And you loved me all along, when I always did you wrong. That's the time I can't forget, and it fills me with regret. Always. You think that you have won, then your heartbreak's just begun. Blue period, black comedy, and love's a clown. Now laugh my way. I think of you much more than I'd ever be willing to say. Now I don't want to pretend. I was glad to see us ending this way. That's the time I want to cry, and the time I wonder why, and pray. Blue period, I'm looking for someone who is just like you, to help end this blue period.
And we're back. Hi, Joe.
We're back, but I haven't turned black like Al told me I
Yeah.
was gonna before the break.
What's all this about? You got something else
No,
about Jim Comey?
I was reading something here while we were on break about the McCabe report. It made me think a little bit, which is rare. So I figured I'd run this by you and anybody listening. So you look at it like this. So we've got this investigation going on into the president and whether he did something wrong. And that investigation was I find it odd, meaning Rod Rosenstein, is that his name?
Yep.
Rod Rosenstein is the assistant attorney general. Is that what he is?
Yes, that's his
Rod Rosenstein
attorney general. Yep.
Suggested, or when they wrote the memo, that James Comey should be fired.
Right.
Okay, do
Yep.
I have that correct? Trump fired Comey, and then Rod Rosenstein hired the special, or said to Sessions. Well, Sessions recused himself, and then Rosenstein hired the special prosecutor because Trump fired James Comey. Is that? Do I have that right?
I wish I could tell you.
I believe I have that right, and if anybody wants to go look,
I'm trying to look it up.
I'm going to say it's
but
right.
as noted
until,
before, your internet is slow as fuck. I might have to shut my phone off or something.
Until proven wrong, I'm just going to say it's right.
Right.
So that in itself, that is weird.
Do you have internet on your machine right now?
Yeah,
All right, fine.
it's not lightning fast.
Yeah, I'm just going to shut mine down for a second.
So we've got that, and then we've got James Comey, and we've got Andrew McCabe, whose wife took $700,000 because she was running for the Democratic. I'm not going to find it in time, but she was running for a Senate seat, I believe.
U.S. Senate seat.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know that for sure. And he was partisan, and they found that he's. I'm reading a thing from Real Clear Politics. The name of the publication, American Greatness, sounds pretty Republican, and it's by Roger Kimball, and it said the title of the article is "The McCabe Report is just an appetizer," meaning there's more of this shit to come out.
Okay.
And it basically says that you could hear this kind of shit on Fox News, but that this entire thing is the FBI thing, the investigations. Were simply it was a partisan 2016 election.
By the way, the Wall Street
Everywhere.
Journal calls McCabe the new Deep Throat.
So the thing is, think about it like this. Everyone, including myself and Al, thought Hillary Clinton was going to be the next president.
I absolutely did. I was very depressed that morning.
James Comey thought Hillary Clinton was going to be the next president. So think about it. Put yourself in their shoes. You're going along. You have an investigation going on. Barack Obama is president. There's an investigation into Hillary Clinton. Obama wants Hillary Clinton to win bad. You have an attorney general, Loretta Lynch, who was met on the tarmac
For an emergency meeting.
Well, it wasn't an emergency. Bill Clinton just happened to be at the same place at the same time as Loretta Lynch, and went and spent
Just coming over to say hi.
45 minutes on Loretta Lynch's plane talking about grandkids.
Do you think she blew him?
While Loretta Lynch is...
I don't think he likes black chicks.
Would you shut up for a second?
I'm just trying to be funny.
Loretta Lynch is investigating his wife. Do you follow what I'm saying? The ex-president of the United States is on the plane with the attorney general who is investigating his fucking wife, who is running for president. Everyone thought that Hillary Clinton was going to win. So, James Comey does not... First of all, it's, as everyone has said a million times, but you won't hear it anywhere unless you listen to Fox News or read a real newspaper.
Right.
It's not the job of the FBI doesn't recommend, doesn't decide whether to prosecute or not. That's the Department of Justice.
Mm-hmm.
This guy got up unprecedented. It was unprecedented in my lifetime. Probably unprecedented. I don't think an FBI director has ever done this.
Right.
Got up during a presidential election and said in no uncertain terms in a 15-minute speech that Hillary Clinton is as guilty as shit.
Right.
But because there's no intent, that they can't prosecute her. And I'm sitting there as a moron who took civics in high school going, Jesus, I always thought that ignorance was no excuse for breaking the law.
Teflon Hillary. I was just talking about Teflon Don. She's Teflon Hillary.
Right? So he's talking about intent, whether she meant to do it or not, which we all know she did. Anybody that knows Hillary knows she fucking, well, she was caught. It's unquestionable. She's a liar. She said she used the email because she only wanted to use one device. Then it came out that she had 8 devices. She's a fucking liar. And once again, I'm not going to go into I hate Hillary speech.
Why not?
But it's proven that she's a fucking liar. It's not like just my opinion.
Yeah, right.
She's a fucking liar.
A lying liar who lies a lot.
So at any rate, but everybody thought she was going to win. So the deal is that all these assholes had to, they're slowly, all this shit is coming out. And they've kept this charade up about Trump and Russia because there's so much shit under the surface that's going to come up, that's going to bubble through eventually, because all these people thought that Hillary Clinton was going to be president and all this shit would just go away. All this illegal shit that was going on underneath the surface by James Comey, by fucking Andrew McCabe. They thought all this shit would just be gone, and it's not. And he won, and they're fucking horrified.
Well,
and I think there's a lot of people out there that are fucking horrified, and I think Hillary Clinton should be fucking horrified because I believe they're still investigating her email, and I think she should go to fucking prison.
By the
way, I
way,
think a lot of people think like that.
By the way, she would have been the oldest president ever, too. So I think...
But do you follow what I'm saying?
No, I totally follow what you're saying, but I think that she's... We were talking about entitlement earlier.
It's not about her.
Yeah,
it's not
weird.
about her. It's about the people that thought...
Yeah.
They thought she was going to win.
And then
similarly, all this would be a non-issue.
She's similarly Teflon-y as Dawn. It's weird. Everybody's Teflon-y at that fucking...
I don't think she's that Teflon-y. I think she's got a rude awakening because there's still...
You think it's going to happen?
I do. I just think it's going to take time.
I mean...
And I think she should go to fucking jail.
So you think so? I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Just stop using those resources. Why? Stop using those resources because she's done. She's done.
It doesn't matter.
She's
done. What? It shows that they put Martha Stewart in jail for a reason. And it had nothing to do because she made $40,000. It had everything to do with rich people don't get away with shit. And it's not just fucking... The law applies to everybody.
Yeah, you don't get to do
Hillary
insider trading.
Hillary should go to fucking jail. She'd be the poster child of don't break the fucking law because it really does apply to everybody.
It's the same thing as if you use fucking chemical weapons on your own people, you can pretty much expect it to get bombed by the United States. That's just going to happen. You don't get to do that. It's along the same lines. I know what you're saying.
But, the more I think about it, I think Jim Comey is a partisan scumbag.
I've been saying that for fucking months. That guy, that's
McCabe
the word. Partisan with the very example of a partisan motherfucker.
Is obviously a partisan scumbag.
Who? I'm sorry, I was yelling.
Oh,
yeah. By the way, those are the two guys who leaked everything. Comey being more than McCabe.
He admitted it.
Both of them.
Proudly.
They are the fucking leakers. Both of them. The fucking cunts. And by the way, Andrew McCabe had his first grandchild last July.
No, we don't wish the grandchild dead.
The beautiful, precious little
I'm not in with this.
Ashley Mullins is her name. His daughter married a man named...
You can. Why don't you just wish one of the children dead? Because that's better than the grandchild.
Well, I was doing children earlier.
I was
doing children earlier, and you told me I couldn't do that. His children are my age, not my age. You know what I mean.
I try to give people
30.
the benefit of the doubt, but the more I think about James Comey, and I said earlier that I think that the guy was put in a really tough position. But I'm starting to backtrack a little bit. I think maybe he's a fucking dirtbag.
He was somebody who suppressed his outward fucking political fucking feelings and his ambitions to get to that job worked out. And when he was in that office, he used all of his powers in a partisan manner every minute of every day. And he needs to be killed. Right now, he's at the top, and I never say that. He's at the top of my list. James Comey, right now, to me, is the worst person in America. Maybe not the world. All right, I'm sure there's some fucking
you can't prove it,
African overlords out there who are worse.
Now I'm just starting to think it. You can't prove it.
You can at least say with some certainty that he's a partisan cunt. Right?
You can say with some certainty that he's inconsistent. And if he's a person that is...
He's not inconsistent in his...
He contradicts himself.
He does contradict himself, which makes him a partisan cunt.
And if he's like I contradict myself.
Yeah, but you're not a partisan cunt.
No, but...
You're drunk.
If you say you're a serious note taker and you contradict yourself, then you're either one or the other.
He doesn't say it.
You're
Everybody says it
you're
about
a
him.
lying fuck.
Yeah, no.
Because you wouldn't contradict yourself.
He never...
You would always be, and you would be aware of what you said when you said it.
And that is why it's the same thing as your boy, not your boy, but our boy, Bill Clinton saying...
Still, you can't prove it
It's
yet.
the same thing as saying it depends on what your definition of is.
No,
it's the same thing. It's the same fucking thing.
Bill Clinton was lying about lying.
It
That's a little different.
depends on what your definition of is. Although Ronald Reagan was known to say, I don't know. I don't
think of
recall.
something smart to say so I can take a leak.
So anyway, I was talking earlier about my long walk. And Joe and I revisited it briefly on our... and the thing is we've always talked about when it's time to go, it's just fucking time to go. And listen, we live in a cool little area where, you know, the places you live aren't that far from the places you go. It's not the country. It's not the city. It's suburbia. I guess we used to be rural when our parents moved here. But the bottom line is any semi-healthy or semi-unhealthy man in their 50s or early 40s should probably be able to make a 2 or 3 mile walk. Joe did a 3 mile walk. I did about a 2.5 mile walk. And the thing is when we were younger, it was amazing. Joe, we would go... That place, Katie's he was talking about, used to be TK's. And on the rare occasion that Joe and I would go out drinking, this was way before this whole place he lives now, we would meet at TK's. Someone would drive the other or whatever. There was no Uber then. Maybe a cab was taken. Whatever. You meet there.
We probably drove drunk.
And at the end, no, because somebody always walked the fuck home. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Somebody was always on foot because it was... For somebody, it was always just time to go.
Well, I've always been like
and
that.
We never said goodbye. At least you looked at Patty and said, it's time to go. No, what did you say? I'm going to go or I'm going to leave?
Home.
I'm going home. And I said it to my wife. I said, I'm leaving. I'm going to get the truck.
It was the wrong thing to do. Now, I've left a lot of places without saying goodbye to anyone.
Yeah, you're good. You're wicked good. You've done it a bunch, and it wasn't
usually it's at my house. I just go to bed.
Well, that's different. I love when the walk goes down. That's happened so many times.
I don't need it. I don't need to say goodnight to anybody. I don't want any fanfare.
My brother Paul's like, I seen this motherfucker once in the last 15 years, and he just walked home. You know what I mean? We supposedly really like each other and enjoy each other's company. And
did I walk home on Paul?
Yeah. And that was like from Maggie's or something.
Really?
Yeah, like Maggie. That was early in our fucking. There was the same era. It was the same era as the TK's thing.
Well, you know, you gotta get some exercise. And at least I wasn't driving.
He's like, have you seen Joe? I'm like, he's not in the bathroom. He goes, no, he went. I think he went to the bathroom. I'm like, he's clearly walking home, Paul. Just let it go.
Well,
don't take it personal. It's time
not
to
the
go.
First time.
I've done that. I've done that from here. I walked from here to Carver.
And unfortunately,
remember when I lived in Carver?
It's a trait that was inherited.
Oh yeah, your dad. I'm pretty sure he walked from Jacqueline Lane to fucking Colchester Drive.
Probably many times.
Yeah.
Because
Cindy left with the car.
Something happened.
And there was no way he was sleeping on Capozzi's couch.
No.
No way.
No. There's something about sleeping in my own bed. I like
I hear you there. Or a hotel bed. Just somebody else's house sucks.
I don't want to.
Hotels are fine.
Unless it's my boys in Florida.
Yeah,
I
that's
can stay
different.
over
Yeah,
there.
that's different.
Actually, I can stay at your place too. I feel comfortable.
I actually felt comfortable
There's
up in your
places
room the
where
other night.
I'm not.
Although that fucking
don't know
fan
the
needs to
wife.
be replaced.
You don't know the wife too well or how she's.
Yeah, that's not comfortable.
You've been around here, shit-faced, so much that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just part of the family. If you came barging in drunk,
4 or 5 years ago, I met some guys from college, and the dude had a house. It was down on Westport Beach, but not Westport Beach. It's like if Westport Beach is on the right, he's on the left, like the private part.
Yeah.
And I met some of the guys from college, and we hung out. We had fun, and I got so fucking drunk on fucking bourbon and Coke that I pissed in the corner in his living room.
You
behind
piss
the
out
couch.
the window while the window was down?
No, because it was during a blackout, and I woke up and his kids are running around and everything, and I was covered in piss, just like that other night over here. I just covered in piss.
Well, you got to try knocking that off.
Well, that's the thing that happened. Well, you remember the laptop story, Anya's laptop, where I pissed in the laptop. Yeah.
Yes,
that was gross.
I remember
too.
that one. That was 10 years
With
ago,
me,
though.
if it's blackout drunk, there's some fucking rogue pissing going on. You know what I mean? At that particular, but the funny thing about that one
pissed
was
in the organ.
I slept on his couch. I didn't bring any blankets. I wasn't even necessarily looking to stay over. But of course, I'm not driving. I'm blackout drunk. I woke up with a shirt on, a heaping, sopping fucking pile of fucking pissed, wet fucking jeans on the floor and bare-assed. Underwear nowhere to be found. You know what I mean? I don't know if I threw it out. It wasn't, you know what I mean? But his kids are running around in and out of the room, and I'm literally bare-assed on his fucking couch, smelling directly of fucking piss. That's my fucking life. And that's during that was at my skinniest during that last fucking weight loss. That's when I started with my bullshit. I didn't drink for like a year and a half. That was the first weekend I drank, and I drank literally a handle of Jim Beam.
Yeah,
a fucking handle.
That'll do it.
A little dab will do you, everybody. Do you think that I want to ask you a question because
Southwest Airlines, one dead.
I told Kat that I wanted to unplug the HDMI cable because we have so much to do and so much packing that there's no way that if the TV is on, anything productive is being done. We got to be on our feet, at least packing. She's like, well, I can watch TV and pack. I'm like, no, you can't.
Oh,
but
you want to keep the TV off?
But she helped me do cleaning. I had to do a deep cleaning on a big hardwood floor over there last night, and she helped me, and I got to say she did great, and I think I'm going to be able to restore it to some natural beauty on my own. But we've been dying to find a new thing to binge watch. That's the new thing, right? It's a cultural thing, right?
Right.
So we're not ready for Game of Thrones. I'm not ready for it. I will never ever watch Walking Dead. It's not happening. That does not sound like intelligent viewing to me.
The only reason is because in the beginning it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then now I record it. I would never, you can't, it's unwatchable because they must pay these people so much fucking money. There's 73 commercials on. When there's a commercial break, it's 10 minutes.
Which show?
Walking Dead.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. That's
you know
AMC,
what I mean?
Right, yeah. Basic cable.
I mean, it's like a 65-minute show. 65 minutes allotted time.
And you're lucky to get 40
minutes of show.
You're lucky to get 40 minutes, probably.
I mean, it's unbearable to watch if on regular TV.
So even
Although
if,
I haven't watched a commercial in a long time.
so you could record it and fast forward, and I think if you
So I do that. I record it. And
I think if you watch it on demand, you can't fast forward. Some of the like I know the broadcast networks, if you watch it on demand, you can't. Whatever. It is what it is.
But you know what you can always do?
First world problems. But
You can jump 10 minutes
backwards or
forwards.
oh, by pressing page or whatever.
Yeah. What are the buttons?
You press page. Yeah, I didn't know it was
can
10
go-
minutes. I thought it was only 15 seconds. Is there another button?
Sometimes it's 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's 10 minutes. I don't know whether it's adjustable.
So I'm going to tell you about the absolutely gay show that because I was doing Vikings. Oh no, that's right. We discovered that we're actually caught up with Vikings. But I said I'm
buddy
never
Ira
going to
likes
watch
Vikings.
It got the last season sucked. Ever since they killed the original. You never watched it, right? The guy who was the original protagonist, he got offed, and it sucks instead, in my opinion. Anyway, we're caught up on that. Caught up on everything. I gave up on Kiefer Sutherland as the president of the United States, designated survivor. Have you seen that? I used to record like that and then watch it
No,
2 or 3 episodes. Awful.
Is
It's
that
awful?
cable or is it?
No, it's ABC. ABC has 2 shows about the White House right now.
Okay.
And
No,
I think
haven't
one
watched
is
that.
called like Scandal or something, and the other one is Designated. So anyway, so this is what we're doing. We started it the other day, and it's actually pretty good, I gotta say. And the lady who is in charge of the show, she acts in it. She plays the lead. She writes it, directs it, produces it. Have you heard of this person, Lena Dunham?
Oh, God.
The name of the show is Girls.
Oh,
Have you tried at least watching it?
no. But she's fucking insufferable.
I'm going to tell you right now, she is a card-carrying member of the Communist Cunt Club of America. Not the KKK, the CCC.
I just, you know what?
But
I saw her on
The show is fucking really good, man.
Well, apparently there's a lot of people that watched it. But
It's really good, and it's over. So I know
and
that
you'll
it's.
never hear from
I
her
know
again.
it's.
She
I don't
had
know
a
about that.
one-time wonder.
I don't
I'm
know about
telling you.
that. The plain fact that
Well, she's fucking-
Judd Apatow produced that show.
First of all,
he's
she's
a heavyweight.
Gross. She's fucking ugly.
She's not a good-looking girl.
No, she's fat
And
ugly.
in that show, she doesn't wear
and
much makeup.
Angry. She's kind of angry.
And she's constantly naked. Now you know who is
And ugly.
Do you know who Adam Driver is?
No.
All right, Adam Driver. You're not into the whole Star Wars thing, right?
No.
He's
Not the new Star Wars.
Yeah. His thing is he's the new baddie in Star Wars, bad guy. He is
Yeah.
Han Solo's son / Princess Leia's son / Darth Vader's grandson, and he's the new ultimate bad guy. He is in this fucking show, and he's never without a shirt on. He is her casual bang.
Never with a shirt on.
Yeah, I'm sorry, with a shirt on. A lot of the show is the two of them fucking and him being absolutely obnoxious. He's amazing in it. You know what I mean?
Piss on her or anything good?
I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen. I'm only a few episodes in, and that's about all that's left.
Throwing her little fat body out of a second floor window.
He's always kicking her the fuck out after he's done fucking her. You know what I mean? And shit
No,
like
at
that.
least-
He's
at
never
least he's
answering
treating her
texts.
appropriately.
Yeah. But I will say that's where I'm
so
at
he's
with
the
TV.
good guy on this show.
He's a really,
If I
really
were watching it.
Yeah. You might like his character, but anyway. So what I'm saying is,
I shouldn't say anything bad about her.
In
I
an
don't know
era-
who she is.
Yeah.
But here's what I know.
Yeah.
She's
She's
I
gross.
saw her a few times, and she's just fucking insufferable.
Here's the thing.
She's got a little fame somehow.
Can I just
and
say this?
She's got an opinion, and I just
Girls.
shut the fuck up.
Ladies, can I just say this, ladies? You listen, everybody's got some sort of, what's the word? Redeeming quality. And you know what? She's cute enough. She's not repulsive, but you know what? You're gonna need tits, okay? You're gonna need boobs. And she got these little. I mean, seriously. I know you joke with me, and everyone jokes with me. When I'm fat like I am now, I got a good B+, almost C cup going. The girl's tits are smaller than mine. Okay. Now, granted,
done it.
yeah. Now, granted, I'm a big sexy gorilla.
If
and,
she were able to stick her head down through her legs and look up,
yeah, most women
she
find
wouldn't
me,
be able to see her tits past her gut.
Here's how gross Lena Dunham is, okay? This is how gross Lena Dunham is. There are more women in the world.
That would be bad. Better than over backwards and turning your head
There are
180 degrees.
There are more women in the world who would fuck me than there are men who would fuck Lena Dunham, okay? That's how gross she is.
Yeah.
Now, you know I have a high opinion of myself, and I also know my way around a vagina and all that, but I'm fucking gross, okay?
No, you're not.
Lena
That's
Dunham
gross,
is fucking grosser than me. You know what I mean?
No.
Oh, yeah, she's grosser than me.
Oh, yeah, she's grosser than you,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
But, I mean, you're not gross.
I'm not that gross. I'm pretty gross.
I don't find it gross.
Really?
Although I don't have to fuck you or anything, thank God.
You might have to suckle me in a little while, though.
But, no, she's, I don't know.
Are you doing any binge TV right now? What are you doing? What are you watching?
You know what I just watched?
Go ahead. Street Outlaws.
No.
No.
I'm into shit that's just like, I think I'm it's been a while now since I haven't paid attention to the news. Haven't watched the people screaming at each other and shit. And I feel
You're not doing the
very-
talking head thing, right?
No, at all. And I've even cut down, like I watched maybe two Sunday shows, and there's a lot of fast forwarding. Like they'll have some dope on. Like Chris Wallace had Haley on for 20 minutes. I listened to her for maybe 30 seconds before I said, this is going to be just fucking boring, and fast forwarded right through past the commercial into the next segment. Nikki Haley, I know she's the White House, what is she? The White House secretary? No, the United Nations secretary?
She's the United States ambassador to
the United Nations. Yes.
And she's fucking hot, by the way.
No,
Oh,
not
my God,
really.
she's hot, Joe. She got a gym butt.
She's-
That girl works out,
Way better looking than Lena Dunham, that's for sure.
Joe.
But
She's a solid 8. Lena Dunham's like a 3.
Lena Dunham is a fucking
2.
Nah,
she's a 3.
Is a screeching 1.
Yeah.
Bordering on 2. No.
By the way,
No,
she's picking up the tab, though.
There's people. I don't know how you get, like, I don't know how you decipher between a 1 and a 3. Like, do people have, like, does a 1 have to, like, be missing some limbs or an eye or something?
No,
'Cause you don't
they're
want-
either
we don't wanna get into the-
they're either a candidate from My 600-Pound Life. You know what I'm talking about? My 600-Pound Life. It's
Yeah.
a TV show. You're either 600 pounds or
Where they have to chainsaw the wall out to get you out?
I mean, or your fucking cunt is so fucking awful that it smells before anything
Like,
gets
what
removed.
would be a 1?
Who would be a 1? I would say somebody. I mean,
Like, would you,
there's no 0, right? It's just 1. There's
just
no
some like
fraction.
animal that's been living in her own shit. That's
Yeah.
500 pounds, like in the bayou somewhere.
We personally don't
Like
know any
swamp
ones.
fucking
All right,
thing.
we don't know any ones. Okay,
They're not up and moving around,
So-
are they?
listen. By fucking definition, an average-looking girl is between a 5 and a 6, right? Or between a 4 and a 6. I don't know. how
Well, I
it's
would say,
gonna-
isn't 5 average?
5, 1 in 10, right? There's no 0. Is it 1? Can you give someone a 0?
I don't think you can give anybody a 0.
If you give someone a
You
0,
gotta have
5
points.
is average.
Just being alive.
If
gotta
you
have a
give
point.
some, if 1 is the lowest, then 5.5 is average. By
And I mean, you
definition.
can't go after like burn victims or anything because that's wrong.
Yeah, but some burn victims are hot.
No. What I'm saying is you can't like
And they're
say
definitely looking
somebody's
to
ugly
fuck.
because they were in a fucking fire. There wasn't their own fault. By the way.
I mean,
You know what I mean? If you lit your face on fire, well, fuck you. But I mean, if you were in a fire when you were a kid, it's not your fault.
no pun intended. That's a hot take, man.
That's a hot chick.
That's a hot take, man.
So you can't you can't take fucking half points off or points off for handicaps.
Right.
Because somebody's in a wheelchair you can't be that's wrong.
Yeah. Hey, you know how we
Or at least
go ahead.
in my demented mind it is, even though we're sitting here trying to judge women, but what makes a fucking
I
one from a
mean, neither
three?
you or I have any right to judge the looks of anybody.
I
mean,
know.
even though you're gorgeous, listen, you're a fucking strapping, handsome devil. And
Are you kidding? I saw that picture, that selfie picture you took.
I thought that was beautiful.
Oh my God!
You know what's
I
funny?
look like a fucking alien.
I showed Charlene was home. I showed
First
Charlene.
of all, I have my skin is so white.
You're pretty pale. I showed.
I'm wildly.
Notice that I did not. I was gonna put
and
it.
I got a fat face.
I was gonna put it on kind of right
I think I need a
Facebook
beard or
page, and I went. You know
Although that'll
what?
be white.
I went. You know what? I'm not putting up a picture of us. We're gonna keep it.
Well,
vague.
that's kind of gay too.
I'm gonna keep it vague. But I showed Charlena and Anya,
Not that gay.
and Charlena picked the one of you going like this. And Anya's like, no, he's smiling in the other picture. He looks. She
He
goes,
never
that looks like
smiles.
Joe. No, she likes. She's only she thinks of you as fun and laughing and having a good time.
Right.
You know. She's like, oh, don't do that picture, Al, of him frowning. And Charlena goes, yeah, but that's funny. It's a funny picture. I'm like, yeah, it's wicked funny.
It
And
is
I don't know if you noticed, I look the same in both. It looks like I didn't even fucking move. You know what I mean? Between photos, it's pretty funny. But these two things are like, you know how we talk.
You know what I don't have?
Go ahead.
I don't have any fucking hair. I used to have this nice blonde.
You-
I had blonde hair.
That's the other weird thing about that picture. It looks like you're egg bald, and you're not. You have hair.
yeah, but
You
I'm-
have hair.
I might as well be.
It was
bald.
the angle that we took it at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that doesn't matter though.
It looks egg bald. And what hair you have is light blonde. You don't have white hair or gray. I mean, you still have blonde hair
Some of my hair is getting gray.
on the sides, like any fucking guy our age. You know what I mean? My hair's getting gray too. Hey, we were talking that for the 50th show, we were thinking about doing something special. I don't know what we're doing. That will be a week from Thursday, God willing. Everything goes. Show 50. And I was going to take a couple weeks off, and you made it that I didn't have to do that. We always talk. We like having people in here, and I listen to this local radio station out of Marshfield on the weekends.
oh, I think I look terrible in these pictures.
I love it. The frowning picture is so good. It's so good.
I like the frowning better than the smiling.
I do too.
because at least I don't look like a rapist trying to be charming.
But I said
just
to
look like
Anya,
a
I'm like,
rapist
I said
that's
to Anya, I'm
upset.
like, doesn't that look like he's faking the smile? She goes, no, that's what it looks like when he smiles. I'm like, all right. And I don't remember if you were posing or what.
I don't know
So
either.
anyway, WATD in Marshfield, not only is their program on the weekends amazing, they just play great old music, but Monday nights they have a talk show I've been listening to,
Yeah.
and they call it a current events show. I'd love to get that guy over here. What do you think? And then maybe he'll get us up to his. And our buddy Eugene is friends with all those guys.
How many times do you think they'll let us say fuck?
Well, up there they won't, but down here maybe they might be horrified. But what do you think about that for a smile? I'm gonna get the current events guy from ATD down here.
Why not?
He's a fucking bleeding heart fucking communist too. And I'm saying I don't know if he is, but I'm guessing he is. You know what I mean?
You never know.
Clearly a registered Democrat.
People surprise you sometimes.
Did you ever think in your
I
wildest...
don't mind a bleeding heart liberal.
No, they're fun, especially if they can fucking...
If they can take a joke.
If they
they're
can take
great.
a joke, right. And did you ever think in your fucking wildest imagination that we would ever do this for 50 shows? We're
Yeah.
a quarter of the way there, Joe. We're 25. We've committed to 200 shows.
Of course I did. This was my idea.
We're 50 shows in.
You think I'd build this wonderful table and then fix it?
And you bought all this wonderful equipment.
I
Did
was
you
serious
Did you ever think we'd pull it off?
Yeah.
Crazy.
We don't have any listeners, but we'll have 50 shows.
We literally have no listeners.
yeah.
Like literally nobody listens. Your wife and my brother. That's it. We have 2 listeners.
Well, we've got like 10. Let's not kill ourselves.
I don't know, man.
I think we got like 10.
I think if we get it on YouTube, like we were talking earlier, we'll have more. Because we used to have more. We had actual subscribers then.
Subscribers?
To our YouTube channel, yeah.
Yeah, like
Not many.
like 5.
Yeah, but no, 7. And they would listen. more people would listen but not subscribe. But anyway, we're going to wrap this up. It's a little early, but that's okay. We had fun tonight.
We average 80 listens, like 80 listens a week.
So this is what I need from you people who 80 listens. Kind of right.
So that's about 10.
Kind of right at yahoo.com. Joe and I want to do something a little special for our 50th show. We don't know what we want to do. Maybe we won't do anything special because I'll be 2 days away from my move and fucking right out of my fucking mind a week from Thursday night, I'm sure.
That's right.
But 3 shows from now, this is 47, so we have 48 Thursday.
48, 49,
Tuesday.
50.
50 a week from Thursday is our 50th, is show 50. Technically not really our 50th show, but show 50. So if anybody wants to hear anything or has any suggestions, give me a
it's not
fucking
like
line.
50's that 100's a big deal.
Yeah, well,
50's a good.
you got
milestone.
100 shows and you're a TV sitcom, you're in syndication, son.
Well, believe us.
And everyone's
we're
getting
not
a check for the
TV
rest of their
we're not
life.
We're not a TV sitcom.
No, but I'm going to look into it. I mean, there's a lot of maniacs out there like you and me who do podcasts that no one listens to, and they do hundreds and hundreds of podcasts. But there's
No,
a lot
I
of people out there who start and don't.
I don't think there's
Follow
people
it
that
through.
have done hundreds.
I'm
no
sure
one is
there's
listening
analytics
to.
for that or stats, although maybe not. I mean,
The deal is, when you're not famous,
right.
which neither one of us are famous,
I mean, obviously.
not famous at all.
No.
We have no.
I'm
name
not even
recognition.
famous in my own head.
You have to start. It has to be 100% organic.
I am one of the greatest living rock and roll drummers.
So,
however.
that means-
people don't really realize that, and it pisses me off. But whatever.
We have to build this organically,
Right.
100%. And there's going to be a lot of people that. Now, it could be that we fucking suck and that we're boring. Now, I don't think that. I think that there's an audience. But to get those people
There's
hooked
not a
up
lot
to
of dead
us-
air. There's not a lot of dead air.
To get those people hooked up to us, to get connected, I would say 1 out of 50 people that you introduce this show to would actually listen to it on a regular basis.
That's why you got to get it on YouTube, baby.
So it's a really slow process of gaining a loyal listenership. And that's just the deal.
Yeah.
And that's why, like you've said, you can't really, I pay attention to it more than you do, but I don't think about it much because I don't think, like, it's 6 months. A year doesn't really matter. That's why I said we got to do it 2 years.
Yeah.
If after 2 years we have fucking 80 listens a week, we're going to shake hands.
And find something else to
We're going
do.
to burn this table.
Yeah, we'll have fun.
And then that's it.
We'll go do something else.
Because it's not about making money, but you have to, obviously, if we're not attracting an audience, then we're doing something wrong.
We might have to actually go into couples therapy after that.
We might have to.
You've been begging me to do that for 20 years.
We might have to. Or we just go back to the cabana and we both think that we're hilarious.
Oh my God! Can you imagine if we're not recording and now we go? So every Tuesday and every Thursday we're gonna meet in the cabana.
Get bombed.
With this,
Well, that wouldn't work
There's
out.
no
good.
way.
Get
It's not
too
gonna
old
work
that.
out good for
but You know what?
anybody.
We're having fun.
I'm
That's what
having a
matters.
ball.
So any of you out there thinking that you'd suck at a podcast, you should try it
Yeah, give it a go.
because you know what? It's a lot of fun.
You gotta have diarrhea of the mouth, though.
You got to be able to talk about
Yeah,
shit.
you gotta be able to at least.
But I encourage anybody. You might be wildly more interesting than us.
How about you? Probably are gonna be wildly more interesting.
And it doesn't matter.
than
You
us.
could talk about business. You know, if you're a rich person,
Oh yeah.
you could get on and talk about money. That's something that you're not going to hear
could
much
get
around
on
here
and
because
talk about
we
the-
don't give a fuck.
Talk
money.
about the joys of being a municipal employee.
Right.
Something like that. You know
Right.
what I mean?
You could be anonymous.
How great would
and
that be?
and
Speaking of that, we got to get Leanne down here.
talk about
Speaking
what
of
you've
municipal
stolen
employees, but she's
from the,
wonderful.
from the city or town you work at.
Leanne, I know you don't listen, but I want you to come down here and come on the air with us and drink.
Well, we
That'd
get
be
like
fun.
one of them corporate executives on and get him to admit how many fucking stock options he actually backdated so that he got really rich. One of those things.
They would probably be wise not to admit to that. Even on our stupid show that nobody listens
Right.
to. You're not looking to get that on the record.
Yeah,
'Cause
now how many...
once it's on the
how many
internet,
backdated stock options did you?
once it's
fucking
on the
take
internet
advantage
forever. They say once you broadcast it over the airs, it's forever too, because somewhere it'll be picked up. But I don't think it's recorded like we have it. You don't want to come down here and start talking about, how much you like to
Yeah, but you know
fuck dogs and you know what I mean? You're not looking to do that. Like me, I don't care because I literally don't care. I've had a good life. I continue to talk about my fucking how much I evade taxes and shit like that. I am a tax evader with a fucking capital T. And
There's nothing
capital
like
E.
a good dog fucking story, though.
Right.
Or calling somebody, assuming that someone fucks a dog is pretty funny too. You got to admit.
I mean,
Just picturing someone.
the
fucking a
act
dog
of
that you hate.
accusing somebody of fucking a dog.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny as fuck.
It
You know
really
what I mean?
is. If you can't laugh at that, what can you laugh
If you
at?
can't laugh at a dog going what after somebody and a male dog after
Some
your buddy
wild-eyed-
sticks his hard cock in its ass, not even a female dog, a
Right.
male dog. You know what I mean? Well, once again, we've descended into the fucking grasping for content, just grasping for content.
Grasping at the sides of the wall on the way to
You
the
know
abyss.
that when we talk about people's penises going into a male dog's asshole, we're talking grasping for content. Anyway, my name is Al.
I'm Joe, and
His name is Joe. We are honored to serve you, and we will.
all 7 of you,
And we'll. Go ahead.
or 3,
Yeah.
or none.
Whatever it is. We're having fun, and we will
are.
see you next time.